What's up, everybody, and welcome back. A few days ago, I did a video on OffShift, which is a privacy-focused DeFi protocol that is coming to Layer 1 Ethereum. This is going to be a follow-up video focusing more on their first asset that's going to be offered, which is going to be Anon USD, and what to expect that first week of March when their mainnet launches. When you go to their main page on their website and you go to the resources section, they have a little bit of a recap that we're going to go over first here. This was released January 25th. Following the successful completion of both a comprehensive audit process and a widely supported multi-party computation MPC ceremony, OffShift Core is pleased to present the OffShift Anon roadmap to MAINNET. After completing the preliminary assessment in late December, blockchain security firm Paladin has validated the resources submitted by the OffShift team. At this stage, all that remains in the audit process is Paladin's verification that the contracts deployed by the OffShift team match the audited contracts. Once Paladin verifies the deployed contracts, they will publish OffShift's Anon audit results on their website, and that'll be for everybody to read. Operating in parallel to the audit process, OffShift Anon's MPC ceremony concluded on January 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a total of 330 independent contributions. To show their support for OffShift's forthcoming platform, many contributors shared their attestations publicly on Twitter. At OffShift Core, we are very pleased at both the ceremony's level of participation and public support it received. OffShift Anon is and will continue to be a product of the OffShift community, and its MPC ceremony marks the beginning of a proper community-driven mainnet launch. And this is now going to get into the roadmap and what to kind of expect. OffShift XFT token deployment and swap. So there's going to be a token swap for any of the token holders, and I do believe they've already kind of explained it in their main Telegram chat that it's going to be a very easy swap. You're just going to log in, go to the website, and there'll be a swap button, and you'll be able to swap the tokens into the new XFT token. Secondly, OffShift Anon LP rewards program launches, and that'll again be the first week of March there on February 27th. And then thirdly, OffShift Anon mainnet will launch as well as on the first week of March there, February 27th. So again, into the token swap here. The new XFT token will be deployed on the Ethereum mainnet. On this date, OffShift Core will also migrate all Uniswap liquidity to support the new token. Lastly, a simple token swap interface will be released that will allow existing XFT holders to conduct one-to-one swaps into the new XFT token. The public token swap interface will remain in place until all 10 million existing XFT have been swapped into the new XFT. And I do believe this circulation will stay the same. I don't think that there's going to be any new tokens added, and I think the circulation will remain at 10 million. Don't quote me on that, because it is an elastic token at the end of the day, and the burning and minting of Anon assets will affect the overall supply. The LP rewards program. OffShift Core will release full details on LP incentives for both XFT and Anon USD in public markets. The OffShift Anon LP program will cover the remainder of the calendar year 2023 and will be updated and extended at relevant junctures. So get those LP rewards. To provide the most robust liquidity for Anon USD prior to OffShift's Anon's mainnet launch, OffShift will introduce a user-friendly liquidity feature the week of February 27th, whereby users will have the opportunity to establish their positions as Anon USD LPs. Specifically, in the 3 days prior to launch, users will be able to simply shift from XFT to Anon USD, provide liquidity in the Uniswap market, and stake their LP tokens. So you're going to get way out ahead of the market, actually, in the OffShift Anon LP rewards program. OffShift Core will provide complete details as the date approaches. And it goes on here to talk a little bit more about the mainnet launch. OffShift Anon will be launched on the Ethereum mainnet platform and will be immediately available to the public. And for more information on Anon, OffShift Anon's audit with Paladin, the final results of its MPC ceremony, and further details on the roadmap, tune in to the OffShift January PriFi AMA on Thursday, and you can watch that as well on their main page. If you just go to the resources section here, you'll find the AMA that they did, and you can watch it here with Alex, who is hitting it out of the park again. The guy is a wealth of information. That is Alex Ship, and I believe he is Chief Strategy Officer at OffShift. Just kind of summarizing the MPC ceremony, it was a huge success. The ceremony spanned 2 full weeks, 330 total contributors, no bugs, no problems, or technical issues were reported. So it was pretty much seamless. To put it simply, it went as smoothly as possible. You can read more about it in the MPC ceremony and learn how to verify your contribution by clicking on the link here, and it will take you to that page. Shortly after the MPC ceremony concluded on January 25th, the team shared a major announcement, and this was well received within the community. The OffShift Anon mainnet is arriving the week of February 27th, and we just kind of touched on that with the previous page there, and it just kind of goes into again over what to expect, the swap, the LP rewards program, and as well to the OffShift mainnet launch. As well, they did some Twitter like an AMA here, yeah, and this AMA was really interesting. Alex had some pretty conclusive things to say actually about this, and I'm just going to skip ahead to that part because I believe it's about 20 minutes or so in here.
You guys are on it.
Yeah, okay, that's a great question. I'm gonna.
So yeah, the question is basically how does it function? How does the Anon OffShift swapping function, and how do you shift your assets? And he kind of explains it here.
So OffShift Anon, I would describe, we wouldn't describe it as a layer because we want it to be on Ethereum layer 1. So we don't want it to be separate. We want it to be operating on Ethereum's base layer consensus. But the way the platform functions is it has a native token, XFT, and then there is this palette of Anon assets. Synthetic, you call them.
And the palette of assets is going to come later on. The first asset they are going to receive, revealed to the public, is going to be Anon USD, but I'll let him kind of continue here.
Stable coins, whatever you want. But you can take your XFT, the volatile native token, and you burn it to mint Anon assets. And the Anon assets are in and of themselves fully public standard ERC20 tokens. However, the user, through the shifting process, through the burning and minting process, whereby the user burns XFT and mints the Anon asset, is dissociated from his or her capital and becomes an anonymous owner of the Anon asset, and therefore can restore his or her on-chain anonymity through that process. The Anon assets, of course, and I can go into that. Actually will, if you guys don't mind, explain exactly how that process takes place for anyone who's interested. I think that's an important detail. There are two transactions there that take place. In the first transaction, term to deposit transaction, the user burns XFT and also deposits 0.05 ETH as designated by the protocol. So you're putting a little bit of ETH into the deposit contract as well. And then you designate a specific address that you want to receive the Anon assets. So that's your withdrawal address. So now you kind of create this disconnect where you have the deposit of the ETH and the burning of the XFT on one side, and then during you also receive a deposit note for which you hold the private key. So then at a later time to conduct the withdrawal transaction, the user can submit that proof of the ownership of the deposit note via the private key, and can then mint the Anon assets to the designated address, along with the help of a relayer, the 0.05 ETH. So the user then becomes the anonymous holder of this Anon. In the case of the platform at launch, there will only be one Anon asset, which is Anon USD. So the user becomes the anonymous holder of Anon USD, along with 0.05 ETH for gas, whether it's to LP or to do anything else to transact, to make payments, to do anything that the user wants to do in anonymous fashion. As far as, and so that is, I should say, is a very comprehensive and very efficient and simple and very cost-efficient privacy solution for users. The Anon assets live on Ethereum layer 1. They are minted on Ethereum layer 1. They are transacted on Ethereum layer 1. They're burned on Ethereum layer 1. They do not leave. So that is anonymity in really the space's most decentralized environment. Now, as far as the partnership.
So yeah, that's just him explaining basically how it's going to work when you're shifting your assets within the Anon environment provided by OffShift. And again, he was saying the first asset that they're going to offer is Anon USD, which is going to be great for traders, especially because they're always looking to capitalize on trades and they're looking to lock those trades in. And what a better way to do it than to remain and keep your anonymity, which is what the entire thing about OffShift is all about. And again, as well, you can hear Alex saying that this is going to be a layer 1 Ethereum launch. So there's no extra layer. This is where all the liquidity is right on layer 1. And you can actually, when you see here on their main page, they do allude to more assets coming, and that's going to be something in the future to look forward to. Anon BTC, the Anon USD, and the other like Ethereum, and I think this is for gold as well. And so we should see some interesting things from OffShift over the coming year. But again, this was just a follow-up video to the first video on OffShift that I made, kind of highlighting what to expect within that first week. If you are already part of the community, then you're going to know all about this. But if not, make sure that you join their Telegram group, because the devs are active within the group, as well as you're going to get a chance to talk to Alex directly there. And you can kind of pose any questions to him if you still want to round off the edges, so to speak, about how you can understand this protocol and what it has to offer the wider Ethereum community. There's another article by Alex that you should read as well too, and this is on Coinetelegraph, and it's about the Celsius networks bungling, showed why centralization can't protect privacy. Ultimately, what this article highlights is how when Celsius went into bankruptcy, they had to reveal all of their customers' data, and that was detrimental to privacy. There was hundreds of thousands of people basically lost their anonymity when it came to their cryptocurrency holdings, and this is another reason why centralization has absolutely no part to play in DeFi. DeFi is about breaking away from the centralized banking system and protecting yourself from these kinds of things. And whether it's Binance, whether it's any of the other centralized exchanges, KuCoin, Gate, Kraken, your information is at risk if it's in some kind of centralized authority. And so I would suggest going and reading this article. You'll find it on Cointelegraph. It's written by Alex. You'll see down here, he is the Chief Strategy Officer at OffShift, and he has some very interesting things to talk about when it comes to privacy and the benefits of using something like OffShift and what it could really bring to the wider cryptocurrency community. Again, please join their social medias, follow them on Twitter, get active within the community, and get ready for the MAINNET launch, which is coming in the end of February there, the first week of March. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like, consider sharing it with your friends, and subscribe for future content if you like what you see, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.